what's the best Busking / portable amp? That's a big question, and I've seen many videos on YouTube saying this is the best, this other is the best, but I think actually there is not the best portable Busking amp. I think it's more the best for you. And there are actually a few questions that can help us to find out what can be the best solution for us. By the way, hello, I'm Francesco, I'm a musician, I'm a busker, and in this video I would like to have a little chat, try to find out what can be the best solution for you, and also giving you some examples, some products that can be a good solution, and in my experience that are nice products. What we are looking for when we search for a Busking amp. Probably the first things is that we need something that is light, that is portable, because we need to carry that equipment around the city, because we need to set up and pack everything and set up again probably more than one time in the day. And also we're looking for something that is kind of ready to go, that is a nice feature, something that you have like as much as possible few cables, less cables as possible, and that you can just put there, turn it on and go. And also we are looking for something that is as much as possible nice quality sound, because we want our music to be delivered in a better way possible and be appreciated in that way from the audience. And also something that maybe is kind of loud, because we want to make our music be clearly heard by the audience. But the first question is where we are going to busk, because I know that maybe if you are starting off, you're thinking of start busking, can be a question and the answer is like, I don't know. But in some way you can imagine, you can figure out which places you're probably gonna busk. Because if you're gonna busk in something that is more a quiet little place, a little street, you don't need a lot of power, a lot of volume. As well, if you probably are going to busk in a wide space, a large space, a noise space, maybe with cars around, probably you will need something that is more powerful. What it means? This means that if you don't need really a lot of power, probably you could have something that is more light. So a solution that gives you less weight to carry around the city. But the main question is what we do. What is our music? What we play? What kind of instruments? What kind of music? Because different amps are maybe more suitable for different kind of shows. So if you play jazz, if you play, I don't know, something that is more soft, probably you will need one kind of amp. I don't want to say just in terms of how loud is that amp, but also in terms of how it sounds, because actually there are amps that can make sound better some kind of music, and maybe other that are more suited for other kind of music. So that's a big question, I know, but that can immediately make you go in one direction or in another. And the first two directions that we have, if you're talking about portable Busking amps, is the battery-powered amp or non-battery-powered amp. You can imagine that the battery-powered amp are the more easy, ready-to-go solution, because you have your battery inside. You don't need to have an external battery and an inverter. So in that case, the portable idea is great. But from the other side, when you need something that is more punchy, more big sound and powerful, probably you would like to have a proper speaker with an external battery and an inverter, and maybe a mixer, and lots of stuff, I know. But in some environment, that can be the best solution. But let's go from this side, so the side of battery inside, portable amp, all-in-one amp. When I say all-in-one in this case, I'm not only thinking about inbuilt mixer, but also inbuilt battery, as I said. The first product I can suggest in my experience, and also it was my first Busking amp, and probably the first busking amp for many busker, is the Roland Street. It's a little amp, it's a very light amp, and it's a good amp overall, because in the balance between how much you pay and what you get and the weight and the general sound, is a good amp, especially for beginners, especially if you would like to test it, or especially if you need just a little bit of amplification. So it's kind of, okay, I can play acoustic, but I need just a bit of top up, you know? That can be a very nice solution. The sound overall is quite the sound of an amp more than a PA speaker. What I mean is that probably the guitar sound better than the vocals in that amp overall. But is a good amp for like a good starting point that I would suggest you. You use your battery, like normal battery that you put inside, and they can be rechargeable batteries, so you just recharge the battery and use again. Little thing about this amp that I will let you say is that overall the sound, especially about the vocals, is a bit of this, slightly in that direction. So if you are playing that kind of music that is, I don't know, the kind of swing, for example, or blues, the kind of music when you this kind of vocals, the little bit, slightly bit of effects in the sound of the vocals can be nice. You can use that amp and have this kind of sound. So can be also choose not just because I'm a beginner, or just because I need something light and just bit of like not powerful a lot, but also a matter of the sound that gives me that amp. Anyway, the usual step after many baskets that start with that one, after upgrade with the bigger brother, that is the EX Street from Roland. And basically it's the same amp, but it's bigger, more powerful, more nice sounding overall. And that is another absolutely suggested solution. Still normal batteries inside, like the little brother. You have the 2-channel, a bit of effects, everything you expect from that kind of portable all-in-one solution. Good solution, it can work perfectly. There are buskers that probably live all the busking life using that amp, and they are happy with that, and that's okay, and this works. It works absolutely. Another kind of upgrade that is not all like at all an upgrade is a bit of upgrade and a bit of different amp is the amp that I have here near me. And this is also the amp that I usually use for busking, and it's the Bose S1 Pro, that you can find in many videos, like the best portable, the best busking amp. And actually I can get it for many reasons. This can be considered the best solution for busking portable situation. But at the same time, I find that it's not like totally like the best solution. As I said, there are many factors that can say, for me is this, for another artist performer is another amp. Also, if we compare this one with a big Roland, overall this is more kind of clear and high quality sound, yes. But I would say something good about the Roland. The Roland is overall a little bit more punchy. So that is something that to have in mind, because one, I don't want to say problem, but one thing that many user of the S1 find is that the sound is very nice and clear and wide in the space, the covering of the space, but it's not punchy. There is not that punchy feeling that sometimes you want, especially if you play some kind of music that needs that punch. The Roland is more in that direction. So generally, like overall the quality is not like this one. The vocals not sound so crisp and clear like this one, but you have more punch. So consider the Roland. So don't think about this one just as an upgrade is better and that's all. No, it depends. The Roland can still for some reason be preferable instead of this one. But apart from that, what I can say about the S1, yes, it's a nice amp. There are many things to say about it, and I did some videos in time. You can watch. I put a link somewhere. So if you're interested in this one, have a look, because there are many info about that. The difference with many other speakers talking about Busking for me is the wide angle of dispersion. So you know that different speakers have different angles, so they cover this part, and if you're listening maybe like here, you still hear, like, you can listen, but the sound is not okay like in this part. In this case, this amp is very wide in this idea. And you can, I mean, I felt the difference. When I started using this amp, I was immediately kind of seeing people stopping more all around and appreciating staying there and listening. But it's true. That's something true. Also, you have the battery inside. Some people complain that the battery is not easy to find. I can say about that, I sometimes check just for curiosity, and looks like you can find the battery, at least in UK. But that can be an aspect. Also, I would say I've been using this amp how many years? Like 4 years, something like that, and I still have the original batteries, and I have no problem with the battery. So I still not reached the point when I need to find a new battery and change the battery. So I would say that the life of the battery is quite long overall, like in terms of how many years you can play with this amp before you need to change the battery. Yeah, but as I said, great amp, but maybe you would need something more punchy, or something that is more loud and more big. Different solution, different artists, different needs. Yeah, I think that's all for the moment. I hope that I gave you an idea of what to look in an amp, what kind of direction, and what you could need. Absolutely, there are many other brands, many other speakers. For example, the Acus is another one. Great speaker, but still kind of heavy. Is a lot heavier than this one, and personally, I prefer the sound of this one. Another very common used speaker is the AR, the Compact 60. Many buskers use that speaker, and they are like defined as speaker grade. Is a great speaker, but we have to say that first of all is a lot more expensive than this one. Second of all, is not battery powered, so you still need to have your battery and your inverter. So this make kind of, yes, portable speaker, but not powered speaker. And in this way, probably the Bose S1 can win if you don't really like that sound and say, okay, no, I want that, and I will have my battery, my inverter. Yes. Anyway, if you have any question, have suggestion that you would like to ask me or wherever, write a comment. Also, if you're a busker, your experience, or maybe there are some other amps to consider for some aspects that I didn't mention, write a comment, and see you next time.